Hey everybody, I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to use for loops in Excel's VBA macro settings. So the first thing we're going to want to do is open up the developer tab, which I don't have open right here. It's not part of my ribbon, so I'm doing that so I can show you how to bring it in. So what you're going to want to do is go up to the flag key up here, or maybe you have file or something, depending on your version of Excel. And then on 2007, under popular, you'll see show developer tab in the ribbon. So you can check that box and that'll make it come up here. If you don't have Excel 2007, you have some other version, then over here it'll say customize the ribbon. You'll click on that, and then over here there'll be a box that says developer that you can check, and then you hit OK, and I can see developer shows up on my ribbon. So this thing up at the top, all these buttons and things, this is called the ribbon, and so that's what you can use to get other things available in Excel. See? So we're going to the developer tab. Now if you haven't made any macros yet in your program, then if you click on macros, here, I'll just delete that. If you haven't made any and you click on macros, this will come up. It'll be blank. And there's nothing that you can do here. It's just a blank thing. So maybe you want to create a macro, and there's two really ways that you can do that. You can either record one, a new one, and you can call it something like example 1. You can assign it a shortcut if you want. You can give a description if you want. I'm just going to skip those for right now. All you have to do is type something in description if you want to have something there. So I'm hit OK. Now it's recording. I'm going to stop that. I can go macros. See, there's example 1, the thing I just made. I can hit edit. And so you can see there's nothing in here. All it says is here's the name of the macro, here's the name again, and then end it. And there's nothing actually in it. So I'm going to delete that because I don't actually want that. Get rid of it. And then the other way I can create a macro, besides the recording one, is just open up the Visual Basic tab. Under VBA project, book 4, it's called book 4. See? And so VBA book 4, and then each sheet, and then this workbook as a whole. So under this workbook, I can open that up, and I can type in sub example macro, and hit enter, and it'll automatically fill in the end sub for you. I'm gonna scale this down a little bit so you can see both at the same time. There we go. Okay, so this example is going to be how to use the for loop in Excel VBA. So what that does is, if you have a repetitive task that you want Excel to do for you, so you don't have to just keep doing it over and over again. Let's say you want to I don't know, copy some number down. So you want to start here and you want to say like 5 and then 7 or 6 or whatever, and then you want some numbers to go down. You want them to be different numbers, you know, not a particular formula that you can just copy down, see, because Excel will put random numbers in there. So if you want to be able to do some repetitive task over and over again, then a for loop is the way to do it. So what we want to type in is for, and then you need some variable, and you can put anything in that you want. I like to use n or I, and that's because I have a math background, and so usually when we're counting things we use n and I, but you can use z or q or any really thing that you want. I'm gonna do n equals, and I'm gonna start it at 1, 2, and then you can say any final number that you want. So it's basically we're saying how many times do we want it to loop. If we want it to loop 10 times, I can say 1 to 10, and it'll start at n equals 1 and go to n equals 10. And I'll show you how that works. And then at the end, you want to say next n. And that says when you're done with this for loop, so start at 1 and go to 10, do whatever's in this area right here, and then go to the next number for n. So n will start at 1, it'll do a bunch of stuff, and then next n means go to 2, then it'll come back up here, n equals 2, which is not 10 yet, so it'll keep going. It'll keep going 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. When it gets to 10, it'll loop one last time with the number 10, then it'll come to here, and at this point, n will equal 11. So I'll show you that right now. If we go right here and we hit debug.print, that'll say, tell us what something is. And I'm going to say print n, and after the loop, it'll tell us what n is. If I hit Control G, it brings up this immediate window at the bottom. Slide that up, and so right here is where it's going to tell us what is n. So I'm going to say, for n equals 1 to 10, don't do anything, but then just tell us what n is afterwards. So I'm going to hit go. Afterwards, n is 11, because it looped through with 10, added one more and then continued, because now it goes up here and it says, oh, that's now that n is 11, it's more than 10, so we're just going to keep going. Inside, for n equals 1 to 10, we're going to want Excel to do something. And so I'm just going to say cells n, which this is row, so I'm gonna say cells n, which means whatever row we're on is going to be whatever number n is. So when n equals 1, we're going to be in row 1. When n equals 5, we're going to be in row 5, and so on. N comma 2, and that means what column we're in. Column 2 is column B on the sheet, so it will always be in column B no matter what. Equals, and then let's just say n. And this is going to be a really simple version, but you can actually use this for a lot of different things, and I usually use this for some pretty complicated things sometimes. So we're going to say for n equals 1 to 10, cells n, comma 2, which means B1, B2, B3, B4, all the way up to B10 will equal the number that it is. So when n is 1, it'll be 1. When n is 2, it'll be 2, and so on. And then at the end, it'll tell us n equals 11 again. So I'm going to hit play, and we'll see it happen. See that? And it just filled it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's all you have to do. If you wanted to, you could actually put some formula in here. And so we could say rows, let's see, equals row. And that'll tell it to put in a formula equals row. That actually won't make any difference at all, because that's the same thing that we already told it to do. So I can say equals row plus 5, and now you can see a difference. Watch how these numbers over here will change now. See? And so 1 plus 5 is 6, 2 plus 5 is 7, 3 plus 5 is 8, and it keeps going. So you can put all kinds of formulas in here, and you can make it do pretty much whatever you want. That's just a quick tutorial on how to use the for loop. There are other types of loops you can use in Excel also. There's something called a while loop. I'm just partial to for loops. I think they're easy to understand, and it's easy to implement them to do whatever you're trying to do. Hopefully that helped you. Thanks for watching.